Java's if-else structure lets us check for a condition, and if the condition is met, we do one thing, and if it's not, we do something else. But there are situations where there's more than one possibility for the condition. In this video, we'll walk through how we can use if statements to check for multiple different conditions. And the example we'll use is cholesterol levels. If you have cholesterol over 240, then that's considered dangerous. So we could write an if statement that said your cholesterol level is unhealthy. But there's actually 3 different levels that it could potentially be. If it's under 200, that's considered healthy. Between 200 and 239 is considered at risk, and then over 240 is the dangerous level. So let's see how we can write a Java program that will tell us, given a cholesterol level, is it healthy, at risk, or dangerous? So here's a program that prompts the user for their cholesterol level and then spits it back out at them. Not particularly interesting. So if I type a cholesterol level, it spits it back out. So let's modify this to just do healthy or unhealthy. So we'll create a string called result, and we'll default to healthy. And then we'll say if cholesterol level is less than 240, whoops, I have a typo. Then we'll change result to unhealthy. And then we'll scroll down here and we'll say, instead of printing the actual numeric value, we'll print what that result is. So notice here, I never actually check to see, do they have a healthy level? I assume that the level is healthy, and if proven otherwise, I change it. And that should actually be greater than. We don't want to scare the healthy people. So if I run this, if my cholesterol level is 158, it's healthy. I run it again. 258 is unhealthy. But I do have a problem. I could say, enter the cholesterol level, let me say 210, and that's healthy. But if you'll remember, we have 3 conditions, and that middle condition we're ignoring, between 200 and 239. So I'm going to change my logic here, and instead of assuming anything, I'm just going to have a string result. And if the cholesterol level is over 249, then it's going to be unhealthy. And then I'm going to add an else. I'm going to add an if statement to this else. Now, actually, what I'm doing is I'm putting an if statement in this else, but for convenience sake, we're going to add the if to the same line, even though this will be a new if block that gets set if the else case hits. So now, if cholesterol level is greater than or equal to 200, then the result is going to be at risk. And then finally, I'll add an else case here where the result is equal to healthy. Now, this is really a design decision if I want to do this here. In this else case, I could actually initialize the result to healthy and then leave this case off, because this is going to match any case where the cholesterol level isn't over 240 or it's not over or equal to 200. So when you're designing these programs that have multiple cases, there's really a lot of ways that you can do that. Now, I want to stress this if case is actually its own if-else case that's under this else. So we write it as though this is an if-else statement. And that's just because that makes the logic of what's going on here clear. If this is the case, this is what we do. If this condition is met, this is what we do. And then in every other case, this is what we do. And so the logic flow is that way, but it is important to understand that this really is a nested if under this else case. So this is what the syntax actually would be if we formatted it consistently. We just sort of crammed these cases together because this gives us a more realistic picture of the logic flow. But you do want to be careful, and one of the things you want to make use of is Eclipse will tell you where your matching braces are, and you want to use that to make sure you don't have a weird case with your braces that could potentially cause logic errors that get really difficult to track down. In this case, I think we did this correctly, so let's just double check this to test. And now, if our cholesterol is 111, it's healthy. If it's 222, it's at risk. And if it's 333, it's unhealthy. So it looks like our if statement works. It does what we want. So here's how you do a multi-condition if statement in Java.